Soul Space. Saturday is about creating spaces in our lives that support reflection, self awareness, creativity, personal leadership, and conscious growth. Last Saturday, we explored the states of consciousness, the different qualities of awareness we bring to our experiences. Today, I'd like to introduce the spaces on the Damselfly Path. If the states of consciousness describe how we're experiencing our lives, the spaces on the path help us explore what we're experiencing. Think of them as different territories of self discovery. The spaces are awakening, self observation, intentional growth, self leadership, wholeness, living in alignment, becoming fully yourself. Now, these aren't rigid steps, and there isn't one correct place to begin. In fact, many of us move between these spaces throughout our lives. For example, imagine you've recently retired. For decades, your days were filled with responsibilities, routines, and expectations. Now the schedule is gone, and you find yourself wondering, who am I when I'm no longer doing the work I've always done? That might be an invitation into awakening. Or perhaps you're noticing that every time conflict arises in a relationship, you immediately back down, avoid the conversation, or put someone else's needs ahead of your own. You may be entering a space of self observation as you begin noticing patterns that have been running in the background of your life. Maybe you've spent years taking care of everyone else, and you've finally decided it's time to care for your own health, learn new skills, or develop new habits that support your well being. That may be a period of intentional growth. Perhaps you're facing a difficult decision. Your family doesn't agree with it, your friends don't understand it, but something inside you knows it's the right choice for you. That's often where self leadership begins. Or maybe you're starting to make peace with parts of yourself you've spent years criticizing, your sensitivity, your mistakes, your imperfections, your past. That may be a journey toward wholeness. Perhaps you've realized that creativity matters to you, connection matters to you, or honesty matters to you, and you're beginning to make choices that reflect those values more consistently. You may be exploring living in alignment, and then there's becoming fully yourself. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming more fully who you've always been. Maybe you're expressing your opinions more honestly. Maybe you're dressing differently, creating differently, living differently. Not because you're trying to reinvent yourself, but because there's less distance between who you are and how you live. The important thing to understand is that there isn't one right place to start. You might be drawn to a particular space because it speaks to something happening in your life right now. You might recognize a challenge you're facing and realize a certain space could help you explore it more deeply. Or you might look at your current state of consciousness and discover that it naturally points you toward a particular area of growth. The Damselfly Path isn't about following a prescribed route. It's a framework that helps us explore our lives with greater awareness, intention, and authenticity. In the weeks and months ahead, I'll be sharing reflections, questions, tools, and practical strategies connected to each of these spaces so that you can begin exploring them in ways that feel meaningful and relevant to your own life. For now, I'd simply invite you to reflect on this. Which of these spaces feels most alive for you right now, and why? As always, keep following as we continue exploring the Damselfly Path together.